how can we give up? We don't even have the right to give up. Like, think about the stuff other people didn't give up in the face of. And then think about how things changed. And yes, sometimes things change for the worse. And sometimes things don't change in time. But sometimes things change faster than you ever thought they would. As recently as when I was sitting in the seat of a student at an institution not that different from the Ford School, watching politicians come and give speeches, wondering if I'd ever be among them, I knew that I probably wouldn't because I was categorically disqualified from holding office where I came from because I was gay. And then I wasn't. I was gay. I wasn't. I wasn't disqualified. Things changed, but that didn't like just happen because I waited around long enough. It happened because other people put their careers on the line and their futures on the line and made it change.
Michigan Senator Gary Peters has announced that he'll be stepping down at the end of his term in 2026, and reports indicate that Pete Buttigieg is keen to step in, and right-wingers are already panicking.
The FAA, which is overseen by Secretary Pete Buttigieg, a real winner. That guy's a real winner. Do you know how badly everything's run since he's run this Department of Transportation? He's a disaster. He was a disaster as a mayor. He ran his city into the ground, and he's a disaster now. He's just got a good line of bull.
If you want to talk about being unqualified, Pete Hegseth, the gentleman, or not Pete Hegseth, I'm sorry, Pete Buttigieg, the gentleman that's over the Department of Transportation, the gentleman who truly was a mayor and now he's over transportation. Where were their call out on those individuals?
President Trump also put some of the blame on Democrats. He said that Transportation Secretary, now former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, engaged in BS. He actually used the full word live on television. The fact of the matter is that Transportation Secretary Buttigieg was very hard on aviation safety. There was a day-long safety stand-down because of the rise of near collisions on the runways at commercial airports nationwide that really took off in 2023. I did a sit-down interview with Buttigieg. He was well-versed on the topic. He knew the points. He knew where the blind spots were, and the FAA and the Department of Transportation from the top down of the Biden administration was taking that problem very seriously.
And Republicans have pretty good reasons to be scared of the prospect of a Senator Pete.
Is there a time that you will say, you know what, this is just too expensive. This is just too expensive. We want to rethink this policy. Is there ever a time that you're going to say that it's too expensive?
If you think this is expensive, wait till you find out how much oil and gas subsidies you've been supporting. Also, wait till you find out the economic impact that some economists have put at $15 million every hour or every day, trillions of dollars every year from allowing the environmental conditions in this country and the planet to worsen.
Let's move on to the aviation side of this thing. You plan to propose a European-style compensation scheme of sorts for flights that are delayed or canceled. Congress has already passed legislation to make airlines refund passengers. Cancellation in 2023 was lower by 1.some% than it's been in decades. How do you think this rule, when it addresses circumstances that are uncontrollable, like when the government's at fault or when traffic controllers are at fault, is the government going to pay?
First of all, thanks for acknowledging the cancellations are down on our watch. When it comes to rules for holding companies accountable,
well, I don't think cancellations aren't necessarily due to you. It could be due to the industry.
Well, I'd like to believe that we helped, given the work that we did both to press industry and to make sure that FAA was able to adopt new GPS technologies that more efficiently use the airspace.
Should the government pay when they're at fault?
Charging the taxpayer for a delay doesn't make a lot of sense.
This is something that he has been sort of entrenched in for several years, this sort of new conservative notion that your policies, your fellow Democrats' policies, don't contribute to the pursuit of family in this country.
Project 2025 is full of things that, in my opinion, are bad for families. And look, when you asked him and pressed him on whether my family was legitimate, he said yes, because I think he kind of felt shamed into it. But let's remember also that last time I checked, he doesn't even think I should legally be able to have a family. Now, if you really got his way in his anti-marriage equality views, I don't know if that means that he would want me and my husband to be forcibly divorced and separated from our children, or if he'd be satisfied just to have us lose legal protections like the ability to do our taxes together or visit them in a hospital. I don't know exactly what his vision of us not having a family looks like, but I know that it's not pro-family for me.
Buttigieg moved to Michigan back in 2020 to be closer to his husband's family, and having already served as both Mayor Pete and then eventually Secretary Pete, he would bring a huge national fundraising network if he does decide to run for Senate. And if the rights attacks are any indication, they are already absolutely terrified at the prospect.